Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show for our Keep It PC segment. We are joined by Bret Heiner with Hatcreek Outfitters. How are you this morning, sir?
Doing good.
Good. Well, it's such a pleasure to have you here. I am so thrilled to talk about this because as part of your business, you guys give a little bit of the history, I should say a lot more than a little, of the pioneer history and legacy of what makes up Utah. Welcome to the show. How are you this morning?
Good, glad to be here.
Good, absolutely. Well, this is exciting because, as if you guys recall, as members of the chamber, they get to come on here on a weekly basis and share their business with you guys. And oftentimes you may not have heard of some of these businesses, and this gives us the opportunity to give you a little bit of insight into some of these phenomenal organizations that have been here for a while. And you guys work with folks all around the world that have been here to your company.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So to begin with, tell me, how did you get Hatcreek Outfitters started in the first place?
Well, actually started when I was 11 years old. I started training my first horse. And we had horses, you know, when I was a kid, but I just really wanted to start training horses and doing that when I was very young. And then I was just hooked from there on really riding horses, being around horses. And I was really lucky to get with an old boy that had an outfitting business just like I'm doing. And I became his helper as a teenager and then just stayed with him and worked and eventually took over the business and then made it my own. So
you kind of really grew up and grew into this.
Yeah,
it made perfect sense to go with it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell me about your outfit. How many horses do you guys have and how many employees do you guys work with?
Well, we usually keep about 25 to 30 head of horses. Depends on how many colts we're bringing up, but we always have about 25 around that we can ride. Me and my wife run the outfitting business, and then we got a couple of boys that help us. And then we always have some guides, we call them, that help us. We have a couple of employees that help us. So between the 5 or 6 of us, we can run our outfit all summer long, do the rides pretty much 7 days a week.
And you were telling me earlier, right now is really an ideal time to get out and do this.
It's an awesome time. You can't beat the colors this time of year. People come from all over just to see the Utah fall colors. I mean, we always say, it's always the month of September, but if you go between the 10th to the 1st of October, it's just awesome colors. You look out here right now, they're just turning every day. And then we always say every 4 days you can ride on a new forest. The colors in September. Every 4 days it'll just change enough, it'll just look different,
That's amazing. Tell me about the trails that you guys use.
Well, the trails that we're located over on Highway 65, right at mile mark 11. We don't even have an address. We're out in the we're out in the trees, we're out in the sticks. But the trails are right on the old Mormon Trail, not too far from Immigration, Little Immigration Canyon. You've got Big Immigration Canyon over Big Mountain. We're out on the other side of Big Mountain. The Mormons and the pioneers named that Big Mountain way back when they were the last big mountain they had to go over before they came into the valley. Well, we just ride where you can see a lot of points of where the pioneers came and stopped and camped, and you can just see the trek that they took into the valley.
Tell me a little bit about the history of those, maybe lesser known facts that people aren't aware of when it comes to this trail and that heritage.
Well, you wonder why they went, why they came this way. Why did they come down Immigration Canyon? Well, you think about the canyons that we have here, like especially Parley's, all that rock that was in there. You couldn't hardly get a saddle horse through there when they sent all their scouts through. You definitely couldn't get a wagon. And you've got Weaver Canyon, you've got Provo Canyon. You couldn't get through those canyons, but Immigration they could, because it was a little more open as far as the rock wasn't in there. Trees, small rocks, so that was the easiest way to go in. They come out of around Evanston, come down to Echo. They couldn't even get through Colville at the time to come towards Park City. They had to come this way, make a trail, make a two-lane wagon road, and then eventually when they got the railroad in to bring in dynamite, we could blow up these rocks to open up the canyons. And if you ever drive down Parties, just look at the size of the mountain. You can picture how that was, how closed in those canyons were.
Right.
So that's the reason that they've came through all those, the way they came is the only way they could really do it at the time, with the equipment they had.
What have you found, I guess, in your understanding of the pioneer heritage here in Utah and sharing this with people from all around the world? What has been I guess, the most insightful for you to share this, your heritage essentially, living here in Utah with people from everywhere?
Well, I mean, we've had people, just this summer, we've had people from all over the world, and always from, you know, all over the lower 48 to Alaska to Hawaii, but people don't know, you know, some of these things about Utah. I mean, how did Utah get settled? Why did we come here, you know? And people are just amazed at the mountains and the size and the elevation we are. You think about the elevations right at our corrals there, we're about 7,500 feet, and right here we're sitting about 7,000 feet. Well, you go back east, they're 200 feet. So they're just amazed at the mountains. You know, they're amazed how this country got settled, and how and nobody really understands until you explain it to them how tough it was to really come into these mountains and you know, settle it and make everything that Utah is today.
Very good. Tell me a little bit more about the excursions. How long do they last for?
Well, we have rides. We have 1 hour rides, 2 hour rides, half-day rides, and all day rides with lunch, plus dinner rides and wagon rides. So there's a little bit for everybody. And you know, and then today people are so busy. I mean, they go on vacation, they want to see Park City, they want to go boating, they want to do all these kinds of things, and so I mean, to come up and spend a half a day with us really works out good. I mean, the 1 hour, 2 hour rides are really popular. The half a day rides are popular. If they've got all day, we'll be glad to take you out, feed you lunch, take you really high. Then, you know, we can really get you a lot higher if we've got all day to do it. The people that don't want to ride a horse, we can take you on a wagon ride. And then families really like, you know, go out for an evening ride and feed you dinner, feed you a nice Dutch oven dinner.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
You know, people really like doing that kind of stuff.
Kind of give you a little bit of that, I guess, pioneer experience. You're a cowboy or a cowgirl for a day, right? They want to have that
Everybody wants to be a cowboy for a day or a cowgirl for a day.
And you do this all the time. You're living the lifestyle that a lot of folks want to try a little bit of, and you get to give that to them just a little bit.
Yeah, we do like our job, that's for sure.
That's good. Well, tell me a little bit. So during this season, obviously it's more the horseback, but as you move into the winter, you do sleigh rides? We
do sleigh rides and wagon rides, yeah. It's not as busy as the summer, but but if they'll give us a call, we can definitely set up a family. You know, we get a lot of family wagon rides, sleigh rides. Depends on the weather. You never know about Utah. But around Christmas is an awesome time. We do them. We live in Morgan in the wintertime, just the next little community to the north here. We do them right out of our place there in Morgan. So.
And you do kids excursions.
Yep. Yeah, we have kids camps, and that's, you know, we're kind of known for that. I've got some really good horses, and we really work hard at keeping our horses just the best that you can find. We just have some great horses, great kid horses. We have some kid camps, and so what people do, we'll set up a kids camp. They'll bring them up for the day, and we'll teach them the basics of horses. You know, how you take care of a horse, how you catch a horse, how you groom a horse. There's a lot to it besides riding. You know, everybody wants to be the cowboy and ride the horse, but there's a lot more to it than that.
What is it like for you to share a little bit of your life with people that, you know, essentially just probably came from a big city and have never experienced something like this?
That's probably, I mean, that's a great part of our job, is to share that. And people, I mean, you can tell that they're soaking it in. I mean, this is a little bit slower life than they're used to. I mean, they seem to come in. You know, we were just talking about this. They seem to drive into the corrals, and they're all, you know, in a hurry. Okay, I'm 10 minutes late, you know. And when they come, we don't care if you're 10 minutes late. We're going to still go for a ride and have a good time. You take them out for a half a day, and the horse, you know, only goes 3 miles an hour, for average. 3 miles an hour. That's a little slower than
So you're kind of forced to take it easy.
Yeah. And then, you know, when we're done riding, they just seem to walk to the car slower. They just seem to soak it in. When they head out and they go back, they just drive slower. We're probably saving traffic problems.
This is probably true. You need to go do this thing, guys, to help with our roads. Man, well, what a neat thing you guys have going on, and what a great part of the Park City community and of the Park City Chamber community you guys are. So if we want to get in touch with your company to arrange one of these excursions, how do we go about doing that, Bret?
Well, they can give us a call, and we got a website, hatcreekoutfitters.com. And you know, email the same. But most of the time, we just work off our telephone, give us a call. We're glad to answer any time and set up a ride.
Very good.
So.
And like you said, right now is the perfect time to get out there and enjoy the beautiful colors. So Bret, thank you so much for being here today with Hatcreek Outfitters. We're going to go to a commercial break. It's about 31 minutes after the hour. When we get back, we're going to talk about storytelling, and we also have a wonderful event that we're going to share with you that happened with Peace House this past weekend. Don't go away.